Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Eddie Marcus, spokesman and advocate of basic human rights for all people. Basic human rights for you. What does that mean? I stand, speak, advocate, do whatever I am led to do, that you might know that you are to live in these bodies on this earth during these times as if you are in heaven. We don't know where you were living or where you come from prior to entrance upon this earth. And we have no true idea about where you're going, if you're going any place after you pass on from this body. But we do know one thing, and that is that we are here right now during these times. And if we are going to know anything that's real, it's about right now, not about yesterday, not about tomorrow. It's about right now. And as that being the case, for ladies and gentlemen, for some strange reason, I don't know what it is, I have come to understand that human beings, we are important, and that we should be satisfied. I want to say, as a social scientist too, meaning I have a little studies on this kind of thing, I want to say this. Everything, if you look at it, everything that we did not bring here appears to be everything that is here, excluding us. And all of the things that are here that can be used and are used in the development and causing a manifestation of the goods and services are here. So it says something about here, outside of us. And that, if we can understand that message, it says something about us to be included in this. Some people use a book called the Bible to try to take you from A to here. And we talk about it, speak about it, only to find out that there are other books that represent times even before these times. It can be confusing sometimes about what time is the time, but all time is the right time if you know that the time is now. I think about two people who read the Bible and disagree on many things. Read the Bible and disagree on many things. And they are supposed to come before us, or taught us and trained us to think that they are supposed to come before us and teach us to be confused as they are. And they've done it quite well, because we indeed are confused. Family members are confused, co-workers are confused, the general public is confused, and everybody trying to do right, and everybody's aware that their way is the right way, and every last one of those ways is playing right in the path of hell. Every last one of them. I thought as I was growing up one day that when I became a man, and everybody my age at that time, when we became adults, we had learned from Dr. King, we had learned from Malcolm X. We learned that there are things that's real. You see, for the most part, when it comes down to church, people read the Bible, study the Bible, and when it comes down to applying that stuff to life, when it gets down to those things that really matter, yeah, it doesn't mean anything. You don't see anything about that. That's just totally discarded. But Dr. King and Malcolm and those that were associated with them, they meant it. And we got a chance to see the words truly lifted up. I mean, we saw them lifted up. And when these men died because of what they were, it made it real. It made it real. All the talking and the half-stepping that was going on, now we saw something that was real. And so I'm thinking that when we grow up, man, we're going to take this thing, because it was hell. It was hell growing up in the South, man. When you're watching magazines and listening to the radio and television, and you're seeing something that was not represented where you were. I mean, you get, then they want you to understand and accept it, and you go to the dentist, I have to say it, and they don't try to fix your teeth, they just snatch it out. So when you get to be a young man, you walk around bone mouth. And here we are in a world like that, and I'm thinking, we as human beings should be satisfied. So when I took what I had heard and read and seen movies about in the Bible, I got what was the most important message in that book, which would describe everything that that book and that message is. And that is, we the people, as unique as we are individually, and at the same time, the commonality of all of these different things that we possess. And here we are, in the middle of a world that belongs to another. In the middle of a world that belongs to another. It's like being in a house when the owners are away. And sometimes you can come in and destroy a house and tear it down, or sometimes you can come in and try to treat it real nice, you know. So if they happen to come back one night late when you're asleep, they'll walk in the house and you won't be so embarrassed. So I see that here is the opportunity for all of us to be satisfied. My God, think about the wars. Think about what's going on in Israel, what's going on in Gaza, what's going on in Ukraine, what's going on in Russia, what's going on here, what's going on there. Think about it. But then think about that not existing. Think about that not even possibly existing, because nobody's thinking about anything like that. Now, man, satisfied with life, living in peace, prosperous because the things that you do, it reflects heaven. You know, they used to talk about it, but now this stuff is happening. And you're free. Free not to be molded as someone else wants you to be, or be molded like somebody else, but to be who and what you are. Now, there might be similarities there, but the thing that makes you have joy is uniquely yours. And what makes you, who have a similar situation, have your joy is whatever it is. And everybody is joyous and happy. I mean, this is the message. No wars, you know. And when you can do all of this, when you can live like that, when you can live where your needs, your wants, and your desires are met, and you can have that kind of relationship with one another, that is an expression that you know who God is, and that God is vested in every human being on the face of the earth, and the love and respect that you show to one another is the love and respect that you show to God. Hey, baby, all that talking about Matthew, Mark, or all of that talking about who? The Baptists and the Methodists and stuff, if it's not going to lead you so you can put down the guns, if it's not going to lead you that the tables can be blessed, if it's not going to lead you that you can smile instead of fussing, hey, it's no good. The idea is that you come here, strangers really one to another, but you are mature enough to know how to live as if you are in heaven. Hey, that's what I always thought, that this would happen. But now here I am, almost ready to die, leave this plane, and this is much hell as I ever seen. I've never seen anybody like what's going on, you know where. I'm not going to talk about it. I've never seen any stuff like that. Now, the opportunity is still there for you. Now, I'm going to say, this message that I just shared with you, I'm basically sure that there will be no other messages this year, the rest of this year, and probably next year, unless they're motivated because of what I've said to you. No, people don't talk about this kind of stuff because they don't understand this kind of stuff. I understand this kind of stuff because this is the life that I would love to live. And if I would love to live like peace and happy in my dreams, I know you would too. And if I can, I know you can. And if I can work together with you and make it a simple matter, hey, that's part of it. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to understand that what I'm sharing with you today, you're not going to get from Republicans or Democrats. You're not going to get it from men or women. You're not going to get it from Republicans or Democrats again, whether it's Joe Biden or Donald Trump. Everybody playing the game. What I just shared with you is the secret of life. We were put here, and all of the stuff was put here so we could live as if we were in heaven. But the enemy came down here and said, you got to break that up, because we are more important than everybody else. That's what the enemy of God said. We are more important than everyone else. And we should be ruling everything. These don't have the intelligence to do it. Who are they? So they come up with plans and schemes to rob and steal and deceive everything that was made possible for others. And they've gotten a mindset with the people who have been indoctrinated because of their persuasion and hatefulness, until they just accept it as a way of life that they got to deal with. But one day God is going to come back and help them, according to the thieves. And so they use money to do some of the things. Well, they don't really need money, but they use it to manipulate us, and they take and they do exactly what they want to do. The bigger the thief, the more evil the thief, the more cunning the thief. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that he's so cunning just because he's a thief. No, he possibly is a genius in any other thing, but he's chosen to be a thief. He's chosen to exploit, chosen to hate, chosen to be evil. That's what he's done. And so it steps out. There's no lie they won't tell, no deception they won't give. Hey, no hatred, no bigotry, no nothing that they will prevent doing if it'll take away some of the pain that they can cause you. So I'm saying to all of us, that's the reality of it. But look at it like this. It is heavenly in the sight of the one that sees it. And the world will know it by the walking of that one that sees it. And it's going to take the walking of every last one of us, or at least a whole bunch of us, to get the others going, to get the others to believe that, hey, maybe that might be. And I can guarantee, if you can just look, those who followed Dr. King and Malcolm X, some of them were killed as well, because the message was so dynamic, the message was so good, and it was so hated by those who couldn't stand righteousness. So they were killed. But now I don't know what happened to them. All I know is this, for me, to me, in the middle of this hell, the greatest thing that could happen to me is this, is that what I'm telling you, which I know is absolutely wonderful, that you start picking it up, and you start thinking about it, and you start contemplating, and you start realizing that you can have heaven, and you start doing. Now, the best thing that could happen is that we start changing, and we change the society before long, and we do some of those things, catch up on some of those things that behind, and maybe we can come up with some cures for some of these sicknesses and diseases that's taking people's lives. But until we do that, if the sickness and that stuff come upon me, man, I would rather hope and pray that I have said so much, that you have accepted so much, and you start doing so much to bring about the kind of change that the enemy of that righteousness would kill me so I ain't got to go through the bull. I would rather be a martyr for righteousness than to live just to be living. Let me say that again. I would rather be a martyr for righteousness than to live just to be living, just to be living. I'm not trying to say that. That's me. So I want to thank you so very much, ladies and gentlemen. But please consider the heaven that you're thinking about dying. You don't know if it's real. You know people lie. Yeah, you might say, everybody. Let me give you one other example, and then I'm going to leave. Right now, the Congress, the House of Representatives, especially the Republicans, are trying to bring something on on Joe Biden. Now, Everybody knows. You can go to the courts and all that kind of stuff, but everybody knows what Donald Trump has been doing. It's just some people see it as crooked. And there are other people who are so corrupt, they see it as thank God it happened. Because they don't care. They got no solution, so it doesn't matter. This is better with them. And so, in these people's mind, everybody's corrupt. Always have been corrupt. Donald Trump definitely believes that because that represents him. His dad taught him that. Always been corrupt. So if they have not done something to draw attention, or they've been so smart, don't worry. It's out there. All you got to do is search. That's why people talk about the telephone and all of this, and the TV spying on them, all this, because they know people are checking on you because they're not thinking about helping you or profiting you. They're thinking about some calm way to benefit or to steal you, to deceive you. All right? And so here they come with that whole thing. And what do they say? What does the mega people say? They believe everything that Trump says. Okay, to be honest with you, ladies and gentlemen, I almost lost my thought. But here it is. So they impeached Donald Trump because of what we all saw, what we all know. Haven't gone through that little process, but we all know it. He trying to walk around, you know. Let me leave that one alone. So since he was impeached, and since he gotten caught up in all of this stuff, he wants America to believe that what everybody has done is no more than the same thing that he has done. And they have not gone through this, so why should he have to go through it? He's always lying. So what he is saying is that just search. Take year after year. Search every kind of document. Somebody might say, well, why you want to search my documents? What business is it of yours? I mean, you haven't found anything that you could say that would give you a reason to need to know this information. I mean, if you came up with that, maybe according to your own system, it would be appropriate. But having failed to do that, you still want to go checking on every little rock. He's done something. Let's go find him. What did do? Well, let's look over here. Maybe we can find something on Biden over here. And all the time, what you're doing is telling people exactly what you are doing. You're saying that Biden is doing this, but Biden isn't. You're just throwing people's attention out there, and you're trying to pretend you're hiding. Like you're hiding in that deception that you are searching to find something. But what you're doing is planting seeds. You're planting seeds of you doing exactly that. And so when it end up, when the people say, well, they didn't, these folks didn't do anything, but you got plants, everything growing again. It's been established right before you with your eyes shut while you were helping create this here monster that was telling you somebody else was the monster while they were planting the monster right in your midst and using you to help create them. We got to wake up, ladies and gentlemen, because remember, the heaven you lose, you lost it. It wasn't nobody else, just you. Till next time, Eddie Marcus saying goodbye for now.